Students, in this video, I'm going to start unconstrained optimization with the help of interpolation methods. Okay, so in this category, we will discuss quadratic interpolation and cubic interpolation methods to solve unconstrained optimization methods. Okay, so what is the idea is that fit a polynomial to the given objective function, which is obviously a unimodal function, and then to optimize the fitted smooth curve. Okay, so we will try to optimize the unimodal function with the help of polynomial, which is fitted with the help of interpolation methods. Here we have two methods, quadratic interpolation and cubic interpolation. What is meaning of quadratic? Quadratic means if the degree of polynomial is 2. Now cubic means if the degree of polynomial is 3. Okay. So let us start with quadratic interpolation. So this is our problem, minimum of f of x. Here f of x is basically a unimodal function. Here, so rather than solving this problem, we will solve the problem minimum of px, which is the approximated problem. And here px is nothing but a quadratic polynomial, a0x plus a1x plus a2x square. So we will solve this problem. Okay, now this is the actual problem, this is the approximated problem. The solution, the optimum solution of actual problem is denoted by x bar, and the solution of approximated problem is denoted by x star. So where x bar is the desired optimum solution of the given problem, that means the actual problem, and x star is the optimum solution of the approximated problem. Fine. Okay, here we have seen this situation. This is blue line is basically the actual problem, and target is to find out this solution x bar. However, we have approximated the problem with the help of quadratic interpolation. So this green line is basically the approximated problem, and if you will see, this is the minimum point, so this is x star. Fine. So here the target is to find out x bar. However, we have obtained x star. So iteration by iteration, our target is to move this x star towards x bar, so that the magnitude, the distance between these two is within the range, within the our target. Okay, so here this, or on the other side, the distance between, at this place, the distance between f of x star and p of x star, the relative error, for example, the relative error should be within the range. That's why we are having two stopping criteria. One is this, p of x star minus f of x star divided by f of x star, this magnitude is less than epsilon, which is basically the based on this distance, and this shows the relative error. Okay, second criteria is based on the distance between these two, x bar and x star. So the distance between x star minus x bar, this is the distance, this should be within the range or tolerance, epsilon. Fine, epsilon is the tolerance level. So now aim is to minimize px and get x star, where px is a0 plus a1x plus a2x square. This is equation number 1. Now to minimize px, what is the meaning? Px means the derivative should be 0. This is the necessary condition. So just take the derivative of p with respect to x and put it 0. This is the necessary condition. And the sufficient condition is that its second derivative, p double dash x, should be positive, because our target is to find the minimum. So this is the necessary condition, this is the sufficient condition. So necessary condition gives a0 plus 2a1 x is equals to 0, and sufficient condition gives a2 is greater than 0. From these two we get x star. From here x star is evaluated with the help of this, x star will be minus a1 upon 2a2, and obviously a2 will be positive. Okay, So this is the condition. But since you know that here we have three arbitrary constants a0, a1 and a2. So to find out these three, we need three conditions. So now target is to find a0, a1, a2, for which we need three conditions. If 3 points say x1, x2, x3 are given or selected in the interval a to b, a to b is basically the domain of this problem. Okay, so if for example these three conditions are associated with 3 points, say x1, x2, x3 in the interval a to b, then we can use this equation. F of x1 is approximately, because these are the three interpolating conditions and we know the meaning of interpolating condition. Interpolating condition means the value of the polynomial as well as the function at these points should be same. That's why f of x1 is exactly same as p of x1. P of x1 is nothing but a0 plus a1x plus a2x1 square. Similarly, f of x2 should be same as p of x2. But p of x2 is what? a0 plus a1x2 plus a2x2 whole square. And similarly, f of x3 should be same as p of x3. And p of x3 is what? a0 plus a1x3 plus a2x3 whole square. When you simplify these three equations, because f is already known to you and x1, x2, x3, these are already selected points, that means constant values. So when you put it here, so we are having three equations, three linear equations with unknowns a0, a1 and a2. You can solve these three equations and get the solution. Okay, for the time being, when you solve these, so we get this a0 is equal to this expression. Similarly, a1 is this expression in terms of x1, x2, x3, and similarly a2 is this expression. Okay, so however there is no need to remember these three because you have to simply solve these three equations. Okay, you may use either calculator or manually. You just solve these and find out the a0, a1 and a2. So there is no need to remember these three. Fine. So now once you are having a0, a1 and a2, then you are having px. Then you know px, approximated polynomial. Okay, now what is the algorithm? Now the algorithm, in terms of algorithm, this method is step number 1, initialize with 3 points. X1 is suppose a is the left hand point, and x2 is c, which can be taken as the midpoint of interval ab, and x3 is the right hand point b. So here c is in between a and b. Here the convergence speed depends on the selection of c, because a is the left hand point, b is the right hand point, and c is the arbitrary point you can take between a and b. So algorithm basically, or the speed of the method, depends upon this choice of c. If c is nearby the optimum solution, then number of iterations will be less. But if c is somewhat far than the approximate or the far from the optimum solution, then obviously number of iterations will be higher or increases. That's why depending upon the choice of c, iterations may be less or may be large. So the convergence speed depends on the selection of c. It may be considered with the middle value of the initial interval of the uncertainty. That means to avoid any biasness, we generally take the midpoint of a or b as the point c. So c is basically the midpoint of a and b. Okay. So now the step number 2. Stopping criteria may be fixed as this. And this criteria is inspired by this phenomena. Okay, so here we will take this as the magnitude of x3 minus x1 is less than epsilon, and declare the midpoint of x1 and x3 as the optimum point. Fine, this is the stopping criteria. But to reach to this stopping criteria, first we compute a0, a1, a2. Okay, and here with the help of these three equations, then compute x star. X star is nothing but minus a1 by 2a2 with the help of this equation. Okay, then now here are in step number 5 we have two cases. Either x star is less than x2 or x star is greater than x2. What is x2? X2 is the midpoint. Okay, so we have shown this phenomena here. Suppose case number 1, when x star is less than x2, that means this phenomena. Okay, so here we have further two cases. So but at this place, because x star is less than x2, so we have this graph. This is x1, this is x3, this is x2, and here is the x star. So you can see that x star is less than x2. Similarly here x1, x3 and x2, and again x star is less than x2. Okay, now depending upon the functional value, if functional value is this form, that means in case 1, again we are having two cases. So case 1, when f of x star is less than f of x2, that means this shape f of x2 is higher than f of x star, so we are having this kind of shape. So obviously you can eliminate this because minimum lies nearby here, so this is useless. So you can eliminate x2 to x3, and then the next interval will be from x1 to x2. Okay, next interval of uncertainty will be x1 to x2. Second case may be when f of x star is greater than f of x2. So in this case you will see that we have this kind of shape here. F of x star is higher than f of x2, that means decreasing shape. So minimum lies nearby here, and that's why we can say that this interval is useless. And so we can eliminate x1 to x star, and the next interval of uncertainty will be x star to x3. Okay, so here this interval is the interval of uncertainty, and in this case this interval is basically the interval of uncertainty in the next for the next iteration. Now case number 2. Case number 2 means this case when x star is greater than x2. So we are having this here x star is here, x star is greater than x2. Similarly here x star is greater than x2. Again we have two cases. Either we are having this kind of shape or this kind of shape. So when f of x star is less than f of x2, then eliminate, that means this shape. So obviously minimum lies nearby here, and so you can eliminate this part x1 to x2. Okay, so the next interval will be x2 to x3. Similarly here, if f of fx star is greater than f of x2, then eliminate this part. That means according to this we are having this shape, and the optimum solution lies nearby here, so you can eliminate the right hand part. So you can eliminate x star to x3, and the next interval of uncertainty will be x1 to x star. Okay, so this is the algorithm. Now we will apply this through this an example. So this is the example. Okay, example number 1, minimize f of x, which is 20 e raised to the power x square minus 15x multiplied by e raised to the power minus x square minus 12x within the interval 0 to 1, and take tolerance level epsilon as 0.007. Okay, so now to start this is the iteration number 1. Iteration number 1, in each iteration we have to implement these steps. Okay, we have to implement these steps in each iteration. So first target is to approximate the given function f of x as a quadratic polynomial px, that means a0 plus a1x plus a2x square. Okay, so to find out this a0, a1, a2, we need 3 points. So in this range we have selected 3 points as x1 is the left hand point 0, x3 is the right hand point 1, and x2 is the midpoint. Midpoint means 0.5. Okay, function is already known to you, so just find out the function value at these 3 points. F at x1 will be 20, f of x2, that means at 0.5 is 13.8395, and f at x3, that means f at 1 is 36.84744. So now substitute these values in this equation, which is a naught plus a1x plus a2x square is equal to f of x. This is the equation. So now substitute this. So put x1 is equal to 0 here. So when x1 is 0, so this will be 0, this will be 0. So we get a naught plus 0 a1 plus 0 square a2 is equal to f at 0, which is 20. So 20. Okay. Second is put x2 is equal to 0.5. So here we have a naught plus 0.5 a1 plus 0.5 whole square a2 is equal to f at 0.5, which is 13 point this. So 13.8395. Similarly, put x3 is equal to 1 here. So we get a naught plus a1 plus a2 is equal to this. We have three equations in a naught, a1 and a2. Solve these three equations with the help of any method or with the help of calculator. So what we will get? We will get a naught is equal to 20. We get a1 is equal to minus 41.4894 and a2 is equal to 58.3369. Okay. And this is the polynomial. This is the polynomial. P1 x is 20 minus 41.4894x plus 58.3369 x square. Okay. Now you alternately you can find out this with the help of Newton's divided or Lagrange's formula also, but they will be somewhat lengthier or tedious. So better is that you just find out the solution with the help of any method or with the help of any calculator. Okay, this will be very simple and useful. So once you are getting a naught, a1 and a2, then find out x star. What is x star? X star is minus a1 by 2a2, which is nothing but 0.355602. Okay, now we have evaluated p of x1 with the help of these three. Now find out the functional value of the actual function at this x star, as well as the value of the polynomial, evaluated polynomial at this point. So here f of x star is 13.72826 and p1 x star is 12.62315. Now find out the relative error. So relative error is this: f of x star minus p1 x star divided by f of x star. This magnitude is 0.080499, which is greater than epsilon. Okay, so this is higher value. This is higher value. Now you can see in the steps in here we have taken this as the stopping criteria, but this type of stopping criteria is useful when you have some sort of idea about the optimum solution. If you don't have any idea, then this relative error will be useful. So better is, rather than use this stopping criteria, you should use this as a stopping criteria. This will be more useful and having lesser error in the iteration procedure. Okay, so rather than this, just do not use this, use this as the stopping criteria. Finally, okay, so now you can see that this is this, which is greater than epsilon, because epsilon is 0.007. So now go to the iteration number 2. Iteration number 2. So to iteration number 2 means you have to eliminate the area or interval, for which you need to apply this criteria. For elimination you need to apply this criteria. So now select whether x star is less than x2, this, or x star is greater than x2. So if you will see there, x star is 0.355602, and what is x2? X2 is 0.5. So if you compare 0.5 and this, then you will see that x star is less than x2. That means x star is less than x2. So here x star is less than x2. That means we are having this kind of pattern. x1, x2, x3 and x star is somewhere here. Now find out the functional value f of x star and f of x2. What is f of x star? F of x star is this value 13.72826 and f of x2 is 13.8395. When you compare, so you will see that we have f of x star is less than f of x2. That means this value is higher than f of x star. F of x star is lesser than f of x2. So that's why based on this case will occur, and hence we can eliminate this interval, that means x2 to x3. So here we can eliminate x2 to x3, and for the next iteration we can select x1 to x2 as the new interval of uncertainty. Okay, so eliminate x2 x3 0.5 0.1 and take the next interval as x1 to x2, that means 0 to 0.5. Okay, so take 3 points in the interval 0 to 0.5, 0 to 0.5. This is the next interval. So here x is 0 and we have already evaluated the value 20. So 20. 0.5 is the now the right hand point. We have already evaluated this value. So 13.8395. And now take the midpoint. Take this. So what is the midpoint? This x star. X star is basically this 13.72. We have already taken this value. तो हमें इसके अब मिड पॉइंट लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. x1 हमें पता है, x स्टार हमें पता है, x2 पता है, तीनों पॉइंट्स हमें पता है, तीनों पे फंक्शन की वैल्यूज पता है. 20, 13 पॉइंट दिस f of x star is this f of this value we have already evaluated. तो तीन पॉइंट भी पता है, तीनों पे वैल्यू भी पता है. जस्ट फाइंड आउट a0, a1, a2. ओके, सो वी गेट दिस इक्वेशन विद द हेल्प ऑफ दीज थ्री. तो जब हमने रखा 0, सो वी गेट फर्स्ट इक्वेशन. When we put it 0.5, we get second equation, and we can evaluate the third equation with the help of this point. इसकी हेल्प से हम तीसरी इक्वेशन ला सकते हैं यहाँ पर. ओके, तो तीनों को सॉल्व कर लेंगे. a0, a1, a2. So we get this. a0 is 20, a1 is minus 30.7284, and a2 is 36.8148. Again find out x star. X star will be minus a1 by 2, a2 which is 0.417337. Okay, so now when you compare this value and this value, x2, this is your new x1, this is your x2, this is your x3. Okay, this is your x star. When you compare, so you will see that this value is basically here x star, this value is greater than x2. Okay, fine. Okay, now based on these three, p2x, this is the second polynomial, this is the first polynomial. So this is 20 minus 30.7284x plus 36.8148x square. So p2x star will be 13.58794 and f of x star will be 13. तो एक बार p2 में x स्टार रखा तो ये वैल्यू मिली, एक बार f में यानी ओरिजिनल फंक्शन में रखा यहाँ, सो वी गेट दिस 13.539. फिर रिलेटिव एरर निकाली विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस फॉर्मूला. सो वी गेट दिस magnitude of f of x star minus p of x star divided by f of x star, which is 0.0037, and this is less than 0.007. This is well, so stop it here, and final solution will be the basically what, the midpoint of these two, 0 and 0.5. Either you can take quote as this midpoint as the solution, or you can quote as x star as the solution, but better is you just take the midpoint of these two as the solution. Okay, okay, no, sorry, x star is the solution. X star is the solution because for x star we are having this tolerance level. So this is your optimum solution. This is the optimum solution. Optimum solution. Okay, so there is no need to take the midpoint. X star is the solution. 0.41733 is the solution. Okay, okay, I hope you understand the procedure. Now in the next video we will discuss about the cubic interpolation. But here one more thing, if you will plot this p1, this p1x, if you plot this corresponding to the actual function, then this is the iteration number 1. Iteration number 1 plot p1x versus f of x. So this blue line is basically the f of x and the green line is the p1x. So you will see that here we have the solution. X star is something this 0.4173. So this is the x star. However, both these curve clashes at this point nearby midpoint. Now when you plot the iteration number 2, so you will see the difference. Here they are almost same up to here, this point, and then there will be slightly difference. This is the p2x and this is f of x, and here is the solution. Solution is somewhat here, x star. This is the solution. Okay, now there is one more note point. Sometimes rather than 3 points x1, x2, x3 in AB, only 2 points and a derivative value at a point are given. In that case we can proceed as follows. यानी कि आपको या तो 2 पॉइंट दिए जाएंगे और एक पॉइंट पर डेरिवेटिव दे दिया जाएगा, तो भी आप कैसे लगा सकते हैं. सो वी कैन यूज दिस. So suppose we are having 2 points x1 and x2 points are given, selected, and f dash x1 is taken. So ultimately we are having 3 conditions. One is for x1, another is for x2, and third is f dash x1. So ultimately we have 3 conditions. This is the polynomial. Fx1 is this point, f of x2 is this equation, and f dash x1 is this point. So we have 3 equations. Solve these 3 equations and find out a0, a1 and a2. Okay, so this is the way. So this is when you solve these two. So a2 is given by this f of x1 minus f of x2 minus f dash x1 into into x1 minus x2 divided by minus x1 minus x2 whole square, and a1 is f dash x1 plus twice of x1 into f of x1 minus f of x2 minus f dash x1 multiply by x1 minus x2 divided by x1 minus x2 whole square. Okay, once you are getting this, then you can easily find out x star. X star is minus a1 by 2f a2. So when you divide these two with the help of this formula, so x star is x1 plus half of multiply by this f dash x1 into x1 minus x2 whole square divided by f of x1 minus f of x2 minus f dash x1 into x1 minus x2. Fine. Now this formula in iterative form can be written as xk plus 1. In place of this x star I am writing xk plus 1. Okay, and in place of x1 I am writing xk. In place of x2 I am writing xk minus 1. So the formula will be xk plus 1 is equals to here xk plus half. Here we are having f dash xk. This will be xk minus 1 whole square divided by, here we have f of xk minus, this will be nothing but f of xk minus 1 minus f dash xk, xk minus 1. Okay, so x1 is replaced by xk, x2 is replaced by k minus 1. Okay, and x star is replaced by xk plus 1, and the test condition is magnitude of xk minus 1 is less than epsilon. Okay, now this is the assignment. You can apply this method in this problem. So minimum of f of x is e raised to the power x square plus 2x square e raised to the power minus x in the range minus 1 to 1. Similarly, second problem is f of x is equal to x raised to the power 5 minus 5x cube minus 20x plus 5, and here x varies from 0 to 1. However, I am giving you another assignment based on this numerical optimization. Okay, so this is the quadratic interpolation based method. Now in the next video I will discuss this cubic interpolation. Okay, thank you.